Hello everybody and welcome back to Meg C's Backyard Idaho Explorations. Today, if you're noticing, if you're looking around, spring is on its way. There are snow bits melting across our yard. There is, this new plants coming up, some dandelions, the first to arrive here, and there are new birds coming in. So this will be a short kind of video series. The next 3 videos are going to be talking about how springtime is arriving here and, what we're noticing. Feel free to comment about that. And talking about birds that are arriving here. So in this video, if we're talking about birds, what exactly is a bird? And I know it's kind of windy. I hope you guys can still hear me, but a bird is a avian species, and the way to tell a bird is that they are the only species around that has feathers. So if you see something with feathers, you got it. It's a bird. So in this video series, we're going to be talking about today how we can learn to identify birds and look out for birds in the world around us. And this can be your backyard. This can be you, walking your subdivision and just seeing what is out there and listening and learning and just making good observation practices. So how can you ID a bird? The biggest way that we had mentioned earlier is by feathers, right? There's all sorts of different shapes of feathers. There's different colors that birds have. There's different patterns that they express in their feathers. And that is a really great way to get to know these birds a little bit more and to help that ID for yourselves. So now that we've talked about feathers, I guess, what are some other ways that we can look at birds and learn how to ID them, right? So a big way is body structure, and you're gonna see my lovely art skills today. So stay tuned for that in just a few seconds while I get my paper here sorted out. I have made a great outdoor experience table. Krieg loves it too. If it were a sunny day, he would not be doing anything and just sitting in the yard and enjoying the sunshine. So, but back to bird structure, right? There's a lot of different birds that we have. There's, birds that are seed eaters. There's birds that are meat eaters. There are nectar lovers. So how can we actually identify these birds and get to know them a little bit better? So for our nectar lovers, sorry, I get this on the paper here. These nectar lovers are going to be kind of like your hummingbirds, right? And I think that everyone's seen a hummingbird, but if you haven't, you should definitely look it up. They're so great. And they have these long bill structures. Not all of them are curved. Some of them are straight. Yay! Happy bird! I can't draw. So this lovely beak shape here is going to help that bird actually get into a flower. You got my stamens and your petals and your everything else, and get that nectar. And that is how they eat. So they go in there, they lap up that nectar, and they have a really long tongue in order to lap that up and actually ingest that. But for our other bird eaters, like our seed bird eaters, I don't know if you've ever seen a finch, but they have this very triangular shaped beak, right? And so that beak has all these strong muscles that are attached back here and along the beak in order to crack seeds open. I'm going to do my best sunflower seed, and that's it being cracked open. And then they get to eat the seed that's in there. So these are seed eaters, right? Okay, so then we have another one, and forgive me if these are terrible artistic drawings, but they have, this is not right. That's wrong. I'm just gonna redo it. Okay, it looks like all of my carnivorous eating beaks are the same. I need to add more of a hook here. So these are like your hawks. That looks more like a flamingo. It's a hawk. these are your hawk species, or hawks and eagles or any of the carnivorous bird species. So they actually use this tip of their beak to grab and kill and shred up the meat that they're eating. So whether that be, little rabbits. Oh, the sun came out. That's so wonderful. Or mice. That looks kind of more like a rat. But these beaks help them to capture and devour that prey. Oh gosh, I'm in the shadows all the time. Going Facebook Live is kind of hard, so bear with me. But they also have these other features that some of the other birds don't have, which are these big feet, right? With, if you can guess it, go ahead and comment in the comments. With big talons. Yeah, you can see my artistic skills are not the best. I got to work on those. But they have large talons in order to grab that prey and actually capture it so that they can have a meal. So these are just a few ways that we can identify other birds and kind of realize what they're eating, what are their basic needs, and how they do that. So thank you for enduring my terrible artistic skills and for staying tuned to learn a little bit about birds. But those were just two factors, so feathers and body structure. But what's another factor? And that is song. A bird's song can tell you a lot about that species, and it's actually a big key identifier to that species. So I'm going to let you look at the landscape in front of me, and hopefully the wind doesn't obscure sound too much. I'll try and block that a little bit. But I want to see if you all are able to identify some of the birds that we're hearing here in McCall, Idaho. So I'm going to switch this, and we'll listen for a few seconds and see what we can hear, or hear what we can hear, rather. Okay, so I hope that you were able to hear and listen in a little bit on those birds. What I heard was some red-winged blackbirds, a couple crows, and earlier, not in this segment, but I heard some sandhill cranes. These are huge birds, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. So those three ways are learning to identify birds by feathers, learning to identify them a little bit by their structure, either it be beaks, bills, talons, or by their song. Song's a little bit more challenging, but if you can, be a bird enthusiast and you're wanting to learn more, that's a great way to learn these birds. And I think, at least in my experience, being able to actually see the birds with a pair of binoculars or just by sight and hear their song at the same time, that helps me imprint so much more on that bird species and be able to identify it later. So now that we've talked about how to ID the birds, where the heck do we find these birds? They fly around, they go everywhere. Where are the spots that we can actually see them and observe them and just check them out? So a lot of good spots are anywhere where there's a tree. They love to perch on the branches. I've seen magpies, which are these big birds with long tails. They perch on the very tops of trees just to get, a better view. And they don't call it bird's eye view for nothing, And you can also see them in some shrubbery, and possibly you could see some birds on the ground. I'm in my backyard right now, but we have a bird feeder up front, and that is a great way for us to just sit on the couch and observe birds that are coming to this feeder, getting a little piece of whether it be suet or bird seed or sunflower seed, and then watch them take off. So it's a really great way, if you're wanting to see some more birds and attract them to your yard, get some bird feeders, or especially with our hummingbirds, our nectar lovers, get some hummingbird feeders so that they can just kind of stick in and get a quick little sample of that nectar that you're providing them. So that's kind of it for my lesson today. I know it was a little long. Thank you all so much for tuning into this. I hope you enjoyed it. But what I would really love is for you to comment your favorite bird, whether it be like this is its name, or if you post a picture of it, just comment that. Let some other people see some wonderful wildlife that's going on in your area. Doesn't have to be Idaho. Anywhere that you are, just post that favorite bird of yours and let me know, and then we can all share kind of some collective love for that species of animal. And also, since we're talking about springtime, let me know some ways that spring is arriving where you are, whether it be plants growing up, snow melting, new birds in your area, whether you've got skunks that are coming out to do their thing. Just let me know. It's so curious and wonderful to be able to hear from other people in different areas about how these seasonal changes are and what they are like in your hometown or wherever you live. So thanks for hanging in here for Meg C's Backyard Idaho Explorations. I will see you all next week with some more ways that we can help the birds that are in our area and just see what they need to survive. So I'll catch you all again soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your Easter if you celebrate it, and if not, enjoy a happy Sunday. And stay safe, stay at home, enjoy whatever life throws at you. It's all about your attitude. So thank you so much. I will see you all next time, and I hope you have a great day. Also, I think Krieg would like to say bye. Say bye, Krieg. I'm sniffing something. I can't do that right now, Mom. Have a wonderful day, you guys.